well, I am now fed and a little bit watered. I also have a nice hot coffee as well to keep me nice and alert. So, everything has unloaded wonderfully there. So what else do we have from PAKT? No. Oh, I'm not at PAKT, am I? Oh, I'm at Prince Rupert is where I am. So, do we have anything going from CY? Yeah. Specific airport, PAKT. Let's see if the gods shine upon us, and they don't. And they don't. Okay. That's fine. So let's see if we got anything going to PAKT. That's a very, very small trip. And let's sort by heading. Who let the dogs out? So that way we're probably going to want something, what's that, about 300 degrees-ish? Maybe a bit steeper, 318. Well, we could do that one. We could do that one. We could pop into Annette Island on the way back. We did that basically yesterday, so yeah, we'll take that job. That's our little job back. So let's go now to little nav map. As we now, I know PANT is not in the database little nav map, which is annoying, but we're departing there. I'll put PAKT as our actual destination. That's going to give us a fuel report. About 84 gallons. So I'm going to stick 100 gallons in. That's going to be more than enough for us to take off and land at Annette Island and get back up again, isn't it? So that's what we'll aim for. Actually, what we can do, if we go over to Sky Vector, we can now put in CYPR to PANT. Now, let's get rid of those for a second. Annette Island doesn't have any approaches or anything like that, so we're literally just going to fly the same thing. But let's look on Navigraph charts and see if there's no departures for Prince Rupert. So what we'll do is we'll do basically the same thing again. We'll fly to Agpal. We'll basically be flying along the same route, but just going the other way. That's basically what we're going to fly, literally that. So, and then we'll do pattern entry at Annette Island. That's telling me here, and we're going to fly at 050. Ah, we need to fly 60 there, don't we? And 175 knots. True. Fuel, I don't know in gallons yet. We're going to have 100 gallons, won't we? The burn is 154 pounds and 27 minutes. Distance 6. I made this little calculator here, so let's just see what this tells us as well to make sure we've got enough in. So the cargo we're taking, if we go quickly back to OnAir so we can see the cargo we're going to need to take is a total of 2263. Okay, so 2263 pounds, so 2263. I'm anticipating 100 gallons of fuel, which is about 670 pounds. That gives us a bit of headroom on the payload. We can add some additional in there, but that's fine. Our authorized weight should be well under there. So that's all good. But let's pop in here. Our flight distance was 60.1. So let's do that. 60.1. I can't. Let's just do 60. That's fine. The heading is approximately 300 degrees. Desired cruise KIAS. Is it normally 150? I can't remember what it is. I just can't remember what it is, but that's fine. Prince Rupert is reading barometric of 3004, so 30.04. The temperature at Prince Rupert is actually, let's just double check, see if I've got something more up to date on my phone. So CYPR. I'll type it in properly. CYPR. There we go. Prince Rupert. 1300 Zulu. That's the same as that one. So it's the same thing. So that's fine. The temperature there being 7 and 7. 7 and 7. I'm optimizing for fuel burn. I want to fly at 6,000 feet. The block fuel needed 697 pounds is what I'm working out, which is 104 gallons. Look at that. So I wasn't far off. So what's that? 697. 697. Our authorized weight is going to be 83 on the dot. Now, what I can also do here, look, if I go to the winds and temp data, and we go to Alaska, we can get the winds aloft for Annette, which is right there. Go into my calculator, delete that, and everything's all going to go horribly wrong. But then I re-pop in the winds aloft, and my little calculator here should be able to wind direction variable. It's not working it out, so it's killing it there. So let's just put 0 degrees in there. There we go. For some reason I haven't got it so it can read that. But yes, we're basically going to have no headwind or tailwind or crosswind or anything like that. So yes, that's changed things a little bit. We should see true airspeed of that, ground speed of that. Be about 8 minutes in cruise before we need to descend. Yeah, so there we go. The maximum altitude we could achieve is 8,000 feet. Our optimal would be to fly at 8,000 feet. So what if we put that in? How's that going to affect our cruise time? 3 minutes. It'll be 3 minutes in the cruise. I'll pretty much fly straight up and straight back down again. But we will burn less fuel. Put it to 101 gallons and 681. So let's do that. 681. That's what we're going to fly at 8,000 feet. Good stuff. So I just need to make sure. D46, D44. So let's just put that down. It should be, yeah. I'll rewrite this so that it can read that as a 0 instead. Not confuse things, but that's fine. So we've got everything we need. That's the information we need there. So come back over to OnAir. We need 101 gallons. And who's the cheapest? Prince Rupert FBO is in fact the cheapest. So it's 8281. And what did I measure us at? 8284. So the reason that's different is because I can't choose exactly 101 gallons. So it's 678 pounds of fuel going in there rather than 681. That's why we're a little bit under the weight. But otherwise, that is fine as it stands. I'm going to just confirm fuel and payload at this stage. So that's being loaded up because we do need to restart the sim. So we are departing from CYPR, Rupert. And I'm just going to be at ramp 3. That's my departure. I'm not going to worry about anything else. I'm going to switch it to a preset here where we're using live weather, but I'm going to pop up the time. Oh, it's only 6 in the morning. We might start seeing sun soon. What time is sunrise there? I think it's about 7 o'clock, isn't it? Let's see. Can I add a location in my thing? Okay. Apparently 8:23 is due to be the sunrise. Alright, 7:02, that's what we want. So, yeah, looking at my app now, it's 7:02, so we still got about another hour of darkness. So we'll fly this leg back with fake time. We'll put this about time. There we go. That's what we'll fly. Just so we got some daylight. And then the next legs we will fly at sunrise. It's going to look a bit weird, I know. Still alright, dude? Oh, I guess he's not there. So, once we get into the sim, we'll load a few things up. But it's a really simple flight today. Let's turn. Let's get comfortably in my chair and reset track IR's position because it's clearly all of a sudden gone way off. There we go. Return track IR off for a second because what I want to do is actually see if there's a setting to shut up. It isn't. I could just turn sound volume to 0, which is what I'm going to do. Wonderful. And not pending jobs. That's not what I wanted at all. Live map. Prepare. Everything should be loaded in. Confirm and go fly now. And it's all loaded up, so that's fine. We are going to PANT. Go to flight tracking. And start tracking. Once that pops into the default screen, we will then go back into flight sim. That's all looking good. Okay. I thought I set a time here. Weather. Live weather. Let's put us at.
Yo.
Yo, you alright?
Some chicken.
Actually, I might just fly this
Oh, fucking dog.
live and live, you know, because it's not going to be far off. It's about another hour before we get light conditions. Let's fly this at like 4 in the afternoon for now, and then we'll do some. Yo, we'll do some.
Yo.
You eating?
I am, yeah.
Anyway, so let's get the plane fired up, and we will get everything pumped in that we need. So battery on.
TOS system test. Okay.
Let's get the avionics on ready. Fuel on. Prop forward. The shut-off valves are all in. That one's inoperable. Let's get the rudder trim. Ooh, very sensitive to do by hand. 1.2 I think is good. Get the Garmin fired up. And we are going to be go for a start. So beacon light on. Boost pump on. Ignition on. Backup power on. And let's get the starter on. Look in for 12% NG and then we'll go to low idle. on the mixture, or condition should I say. There's 12%, so low idle. It's all looking good, and then at 52% NG we should see the amp switch over. There you go, so the starter can come off now. Fuel buoy's back to normal, ignition to normal, that, backup pump off, and we'll get our navs on. So that was a good start. Let's just double check we got landing lights. We do. Taxi lights. We do. Okay, so that bug's been fixed. That's good. But we've got our beacons and navs on at this time. We are good. So we need to plug in 117.1 into our nav radio because that's our primary source of navigation. 117.1. Annette Island dialed in. And we're going to be flying pretty much directly to it. So once we've taken off, we will fly pretty much that. So that's all we're going to need. Oh, it saved our information here, but we can quite happily turn off our not DME. Sorry, we want PFD. We don't want bearing 1 at all. DME's fine, we can keep that on because we're going to need that. Wind data is on and ready. Everything is good there. We do need to set VFR code in there for now. And 3004 is what I made the barometer pressure to be based on the METAR, but let's just see what the airport elevation is here at Prince Rupert. So if we go over to chart here, this is the taxi chart. Airport elevation is 116. So as you can see in flight sim we are well off. I'd say 3001 will be fine. That's more accurate. Okay, but we'll just double check this when we're on the runway just in case there's a height difference between us, which it looks like there actually is between us and the runway, but we'll see what goes on. So that's all good. Yeah, I think we're only carrying cargo, so I don't need to worry about seatbelts and cabin lights and all that. I'm the only one on board, but I might want to charge my iPhone, so let's put the 12-volt sockets on. Okay, we are all good there. So now we can basically taxi out. I am going to set the altimeter. We're basically coming right the way up to 8,000 feet and then dropping right the way back down again. We'll see how accurate my fuel calculator is. 1,200 feet a minute. That'll be fine. Flight directors on. It looked like they were already on. Off. Now they're back on. And there we go. Yeah, let's taxi out to the runway and get ready to go. Just double checking everything's okay. Right, let's do it. So traffic. Runway out. There's no wind here, so it doesn't really matter. We're gonna basically we're gonna use runway 13.
Charlie Yankee Papa Romeo traffic and 983 SL4711 is taxiing to runway 13.
Parking brakes off. Let's go for a ride. I've got this guy coming through. Off you go, sir. I'm going to run over that person. Sorry about that. We'll take taxiway Alpha out because that's pretty much going to put us right where we need to be. Beautiful stuff. Needed a bit of brake to help us sharpen up around the corner there. Stop at the hold short. Doesn't look like anyone's coming that way. And from what I can see, it doesn't look like anyone's coming that way, so we're going to line up and wait. So we'll just say that we are... Oh, we're departing to the sort of west, aren't we? So
Charlie Yankee Papa Romeo traffic and 983 SL 4711 taking
So
off
landing
runway
lights on,
13 departure to the
taxi
west.
lights off, strobe lights on. Get a stage of flaps in. Ignition on. Inertial separator should have been on. I forgot that. Ignition lever to high idle. Just double check the trims, which I did set to 1.2 this time, but we'll keep an eye on that. So we're all good. Let's go. Takeoff power coming in. Takeoff power is set. There's 70 knots, general pull up. We are up nicely. Lovely stuff, let's go flaps up.
Just got slaughtered by a pack of wolves while I was eating my chicken.
Inertial separator can come in.
Not impressed.
Nasty, bro.
I only needed 1 kill on the wolf as well, and 3 of them come at me. Got myself all in the Tez while trying to run away, and they killed me while I was on the run.
So whilst we're climbing here, I'm just going to try and keep this climb going, but I'm going to turn the course. Hopefully we should intercept. Am I on VOR1? I am. Hopefully soon we should see a needle there for Annette Island, but we're not at the moment. I'm just going to keep us coming round. There's the needle. I'll try and find out where Annette Island is. Pretty much there on whatever radial that is. 301, 302 or something. We're just going to keep climbing out like this. Trying about there as well. I've got to watch my course. Just trying to get the speed back in line with about 115 knots. Need to get some left rudder trim in now. There we go. That'll help us keep our course a bit better. Synchronise the heading bug. As we climb on out of here. Nice and easy. You're already at 5,000 feet. T's and P's are all looking good. Completely forgot to put the transponder onto altitude mode, but there we go. So, 7,000 feet. Start shallowing off our climb now. I'm going to bring the prop down. And the power too. Yes, we have got a little bit of a crosswind here. There we go, we're getting into the cruise now, so ignition back to normal. Just let the plane settle out. Just tweaking the power there, just make sure everything's all good. We can now bring in rudder trim back in line. Now that we drop the power off, there's not so much torque. Oh, make sure we're not climbing too much there. Great visibility today. Just nice and easy to hand fly this one again, just like the last flight. We're just flying slightly left of our course, so our course is 303, but we're flying about 298, 297-ish. That's accounting for the 6-knot crosswind that we've got at the moment, as you can see on our MFD. There was our CPU stutter, so let's just quickly see what dials were turned, if any. None were turned, that's great. perfect day for getting a few of these flights done with this sort of visibility. I just want to have a quick look at little nav map here, and we should see that our descent is being rated as 500 feet a minute at 130 knots again, so that's fine. We can make sure that that's what we do when it comes to it, when it comes to the descent. Let's get ourselves back on course. Double check power settings and everything. We're about right, so that's fine. It does seem funny, sort of flying the same route, you know, sort of back and forwards, and nice quick hops. I think this is quite enjoyable. It's nice to have those jobs available. That's fine, dude. Anyway, don't worry. Obviously, I'm streaming, so I'm talking 9 times out of 10 anyway to nobody, as it turns out. But not to you essentially. But obviously, I'm chatting away as I fly, so. It's no problem, dude. So yeah, it's quite nice to be able to do these quick short hops rather than a long flight where essentially this is it, just the cruise. Yeah, it's nice to be able to do this. Now, I've just realised that obviously little nav map is loaded up for Ketchikan. But obviously, because it doesn't have Annette Island in its database, which is annoying. So I need to figure out my own descent place, point, if you will. Now, I know where Annette Island is now. It's over here, so I can fly visually pretty much. So I need to figure out where to descend, and I honestly don't know, because I know the maths should be, if I want to descend at 500 feet a minute, you know, I can obviously work out 8,000 feet divided by 500 is X amount of minutes, and then X amount of minutes at the speed I'm doing, and I can work out the distance I am. Should we do that? Should we try and do that? Let's try and do that. So let's just get ourselves on the autopilot. So that's just going to get us back onto where we needed to be, and hopefully the altitude is going to come in as well. Right, so let's try it. So 8,000 feet, Annette Island's pretty low, so we'll just say it's at sea level, divided by 500, 16, so 16 minutes. Now 16 we're at 30 nautical miles away. So 30 nautical miles divided by, and we are travelling at 170, we'll say. 170 equals 0.17. Hang on. 30 nautical miles. Yeah, divided by 170 equals times... Yes, we need to descend now. Apparently that's 10 minutes till we get there, so we need to descend now. So we're going to need to descend sharper than 500 feet a minute. So let's pop this down to pattern altitude of about 1,000 feet. Vertical speed, let's drop the power first. And vertical speed, let's try 800 feet a minute. We should be somewhere about right. I have no idea. Maybe not. Now, if Annette Island, let's go to Sky Vector. Annette Island, its runways are 12. It's a right-hand traffic pattern for runway 12, so that's what we're going to do. Runway 12 to the right.
Just killed a pack of 5 wolves. I feel like a boss right now.
And then, hang on. Nice, man. Nice. Good work. So yeah, runway 12. So what we're going to do is work out our intercept angle. So runway 12, which means 300 degrees is the course for the downwind leg, which we're pretty much on anyway, so that's good. But I need to intercept at a 45 degrees, so makes it 255 is the intercept angle. Intercept heading, sorry. So that's going to be my intercept. Oh, there's the bug. Did you just see the lights and everything go again? There we go. So what was that? That's it. We'll call it 2 minutes 5. 2 hours 5, sorry, and of streaming, and that's when it started. Look, it's done that one a little bit, and these two. So annoying, but we got away with it. So we're about 20 miles out. I'm just going to keep flying directly for the VOR. See if I can get a METAR report. Unless Annette Island's got something in game. It's got an automated weather. Let's see what that's saying.
Alpha November Tango automated weather observation 0000 Zulu. Wind tree 36 at 6. Visibility tree. Sky condition few clouds at 1,100 feet. Few clouds at 4,000 feet. Few clouds at 11,700 feet. Temperature 8C dew point 10C altimeter tree 001.
So that's really interesting. 0000 Zulu, like that is. Yes, that's. Yeah. So it's based on the modified time. It's saying 3001. I'm going to leave it there. In the real world, apparently, there's no METAR at Annette Island, but there is something at PAMM, Papa Alpha Mike Mike, and that is saying that there is 350 at 7 knot wind and 3007. So So if it's 336 at 6, we should probably be landing on a different runway. So we should be landing on runway 30, which is pretty much going to be the direction we're heading now. So runway 30, which means we should be flying at 120 back course. Right. So 075 degrees. It's going to be our intercept. So we're coming over. There's the airfield now. So select a runway for landing. Runway 30. Announce a full stop, and I'm going to announce my position initially.
Alpha November Tango traffic and 983 SL 47111 3 miles southeast, 3,800 feet inbound to land runway 30.
The elevation is about 100 feet, so we actually want 100 there. So our descent's probably going to line up nicely. We'll be at traffic pattern altitude shortly, but I'm actually going to need to reset the heading bug, and I'm going to have to fly 30 is a left pattern, so I need to get myself well out of the way. So we're going to flip over to heading hold. I'm going to fly nicely out the way of the traffic pattern. Get ourselves ready. Very, very nice day today. Nice and clear visibility. I mean, it's not the sunniest, of course, but it is nice and clear. Well, that's how the morning is anyway, just with the time sped up. So maybe as the actual day goes on, we'll see something different. By the time we get here, we can actually turn on real time, and we should start to see the sunrise. Or I might do that when we get to Ketchikan, but we'll see. So we're about 1,000 foot away from pattern altitude. I'm going to shut up the descent to about 500 feet a minute now. Start flying. Runway heading-ish, maybe a little bit off. Oh, that's annoying. So we're nearing pattern altitude. Plane's leveling itself off. I'll let the speed drop off to I'm just bringing the prop forward a little bit. Let the speed bleed off. Would probably look to be about 130 knots in the pattern. I'm just letting the speed bleed off here. So let's just have a little look. All our lights are good. Everything's good there. In the approach, I'll put the ignition on when we get to base and turn the inertial separator on as well when we're on final. Otherwise, everything's looking good. We're just coming up to 130 knots there, so just a little bit more power in. Just to hold that. Now I'm going to fly runway heading. Once we pass midfield, I'm going to turn 075 to intercept the downwind leg, or just a little bit beyond it, so that as I'm intercepting or heading into the downwind leg, I'm facing the threshold of the runway. That's what we should be doing. If you look here, 075's here, so it's going to be right when it's on our sort of 5 o'clock-ish. So roughly when it's in line with that there is when we're going to turn. So not far off, give it about another 10 seconds, then we'll turn 075. Hey, let's go for it. 064, 075 degrees. That should bring us in to intercept the downwind nicely. Aiming at the threshold. Look at that. Perfect. Now I've got to try and visually estimate a mile out. So I'm going to say that's 2 miles on the DME because the VOR is a mile away from the airfield. Looks like we're getting pretty close now though, doesn't it? So let's just turn downwind now. We are about midfield anyway. So there we go. Let's start getting ourselves configured for landing now. So we'll drop a stage of flaps in. Altitude select. 100 feet, and we'll start descending at about 300 feet a minute. Let that speed keep coming down. You'll go for ignition on. There's 80 knots. I'd say that's a good time to turn base. Should probably actually call that, but we're turning base. Got about the radio comms, inertial separator on.
SL4711 is on base runway 30.
increase that rate of descent a little bit. Let's go final stage of flaps. Oh, we'll do that when we get on final. Paul, we're turning final.
Papa Alpha November Tango traffic and 983 SL 4711 is on final runway 30 to land.
So, final stage of flaps. Props full forward. Everything else is looking good on the checklist. It's in my head.
500.
Autopilot is off. I've got the controls. We're about the right airspeed. And feels good. Gently pull back on the power. Back on the yoke at the same time. Come on. There she is. Flaps up. Bring ourselves round the taxiway. Nice little short field landing there. Low idle on the condition. Taxi lights on. Landing lights off, which I think may have bugged out again. Yeah, we lost the landing lights again in that bug. Strobes off. Bit too harsh on the brakes there. Trying to turn ourselves around here. Bit more, come on, a bit more. He's happy with it there. Parking brake on, that's good, we can go. Ignition off now. Inertial separator off. Condition and prop back. Taxis and navs off. Fuel booster off. Good there. Engine is off. Beacon can come off there, and so can the two fuel pumps. Shut off there can go as well. Rudder trim we'll just leave for now. Everything looks all good there, so battery off. So that's that little flight done. So let's go to OnAir, see what it has to say. Oh no! Flight tracking aborted. When did that happen? Oh no. How do I position aircraft in simulator? Where does it put us? Trying to find that way back. But slew is so sensitive in this sim. If I put myself there, where actually are we? Oh, it's put us back to Prince Rupert. That whole flight, I think we just lost, essentially. Is what I think's just happened. Yeah, it's put us back to Prince Rupert. Oh, that's annoying. So I think what I must have done is played with the time and don't know what happened there, but it's basically decided no. That's fine. We'll redo this another time. That's probably it then for the stream for now, because I don't want to refly the same flight immediately afterwards. So I'm probably going to have some lunch and well, a late lunch and cuss myself for forgetting to double check what was going on. I think what I probably did is in my turning on air sounds down, I probably missed the alert that something had gone wrong and just carried on flying when I could have had the chance to reset the flight. But the flight still stands. I mean, the flight worked. It was fine. It's just that OnAir wasn't tracking it. So I'll just have to refly this again to catch up to where we need to be. So yeah. But thanks guys for tuning in. It's been enjoyable, and hopefully you enjoyed the hand-flown ILS approach into Prince Rupert and then flying our little VFR traffic pattern on the way back. But otherwise, yes, I'll redo this in my own time and get us back up to speed in OnAir. But otherwise, yes, thank you very much, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. It was certainly enjoyable for me. And yeah, see you again soon.